about the safety of the country's most popular weed and grass killer called Roundup.
A cancer research agency of the World Health Organization determined Roundup's main ingredient is, quote, probably carcinogenic.
Monsanto, the company that makes it, strongly disagrees with that finding.
Dwayne Pullman's been investigating, and tonight continues his exclusive reports, rounding up the facts. Dwayne?
Monsanto says the ingredients in Roundup have passed hundreds upon hundreds of safety and health tests around the world, but we were surprised to learn the final product, Roundup itself, has not been tested. Roundup. It's the most popular weed and grass killer in the country. Effective?
Effective. Very effective.
Bringing in billions of dollars each year for the maker, Monsanto, according to the company's annual reports.
Certainly Roundup is a profitable product.
But concerns continue being raised about Roundup's safety, fueled by this 92-page document published by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, or IARC. IARC concludes glyphosate, the main ingredient in Roundup, is, quote, probably carcinogenic to humans, and that there is a positive association with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Does the main ingredient in Roundup cause cancer?
No, Dwayne, it doesn't.
At Monsanto headquarters in St. Louis, Vice President Scott Partridge was adamant, telling me more than 700 tests and studies over 4 decades prove glyphosate and Roundup are safe. U.S. EPA has approved Roundup as safe for use for decades. And last year, EPA published this report, again affirming Roundup is safe, stating the main ingredient, glyphosate, is not likely to be carcinogenic to humans.
It will do no harm. No, it is not. Glyphosate is not a carcinogen, Dwayne.
But in a 2003 internal Monsanto email obtained by Local 12 from court documents, Monsanto's lead toxicologist, Dr. Donna Farmer, wrote, quote, you cannot say Roundup is not a carcinogen. We have not done the necessary testing on the formulation to make that statement. You agree with the quote?
That's an accurate, yes, it's an accurate quote from the email.
What don't I know about that?
Dr. Farmer, she's a fantastically talented scientist, and she was being a scientist. In 2003, she was technically correct when she made that statement.
The reason that statement is technically correct, Partridge says, is because the individual ingredients like glyphosate and surfactants, those are the detergents that break down the wax on the leaves, have been approved after rigorous testing in the U.S. and around the world, while the final product, Roundup itself, has not. Has Roundup as the brand of Roundup been tested?
No,
Roundup?
no. The surfactant does not cause cancer. The two of them together, two negatives, cannot make a positive, and the EPA confirmed this, and that was the end of the story.
Robin Greenwald, a former federal environmental prosecutor, says it's just the beginning.
If they are so sure that Roundup is safe, why don't they test it?
Greenwald is the lead attorney on this lawsuit filed against Monsanto in St. Louis, claiming the main ingredient in Roundup caused non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
I have no doubt that in time, hopefully very soon, it will be clear and open and obvious to everybody that Roundup is not safe like Monsanto claims it is, and that it can cause non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
John Vickery, a former Hamilton, Ohio city worker, is a plaintiff in that lawsuit.
Your name's on a lawsuit.
Yes, sir.
Which means you believe it.
I do believe it.
While the public works director says the city of Hamilton no longer uses Roundup, John says the city did when he worked there.
We used Roundup.
For 11 years in the spring and summer, John says his main job was spraying Roundup. In 2006, John was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
The type of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma I got is incurable.
Back in St. Louis, I told Monsanto's VP about John's case. What do you say to John?
I am so sorry he's ill. Cancer is a horrible, horrible disease. I regret that he's been led to believe it's been caused by his use of Roundup, because there is no scientific or medical evidence to support that.
While that agency, IARC, found a probable link between glyphosate and cancer, only one state in the U.S., California, requires a cancer warning on Roundup's label. Lawyers are arguing here that more protection is needed. Gloves that don't allow the liquid through, masks, they say it is absorbed through the skin. Obviously, Monsanto says, no, that doesn't happen, and they only recommend long sleeves and boots or shoes.
Yeah. From where I sit, it seems the connection to cancer is still a muddied question.
It is a very open question. Up until the point IARC made the ruling, there was no one saying there was any connection at all, and they don't go all the way with that connection. They say probable only.
And Rob and I were talking about farming. You know, obviously he does a lot of farming, and he tells me that Roundup's really revolutionized farming. What about that?
Every farmer knows how important Roundup is, and it's very important. We've been investigating that as well. We are looking into what the connections are out there, and there are so many issues involved in this. We'll have that story Thursday at 6.
Okay.
Look forward to that. If you're dealing with an issue that needs to be investigated, you can contact Dwayne on our Local 12 Investigates tip line. The number is 513-763-5425.